is so cool. Oh, cool. All right. How
Yeah.
about you, Jeremy?
Well, I actually want to ask
Oh,
Zakyia,
yeah.
I've if you don't mind, I've
Yeah,
always been
please.
interested in, what would it be to experience Christmas in a warm climate. So I'm curious about that.
Well, there wasn't a Christmas tree because that
Oh,
wasn't a thing. I did ask about that. They're like, we don't do that here. So it was just like a meal, like constant eating together of like local foods.
Mm.
Because at my grandma's house, they have a lot of trees, so they could like pick whatever they want. It's like a mini farm in a sense. Um, and yeah, and it was a lot of like Christmas carols, but like the West Indian version of a Christmas
Ah,
carol. So like you'll
Okay.
hear like a steel pan kind of in the background. Like so everything was like similar, but just a little bit different, a little bit more tropical. You got mango juice for breakfast instead of
ooh,
like hot chocolate. So little things like that.
Yeah, that sounds
wow.
great.
That does. That sounds like an awesome experience. And have you been there recently as an adult to Jamaica?
Um, yeah, I have, but not for Christmas.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, so I would love to do Christmas in Jamaica again. I think that would be really fun as a grown up, you know?
Yeah. I bet it'll be really kind of trippy and as from a child's perspective and to go back and to see it in adults' eyes, it's just I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. How
Yes, yes, I think so too.
about you, Jeremy?
Yeah, so one thing, and not directly on Christmas, but within part of the Christmas season, one memory that I have that I treasure is I was for several years I was in a concert band, and I played the trumpet, and I always really enjoyed doing our annual Christmas concert.
Wow, that's
Oh,
really
that's
cool.
cool.
Have you played anywhere interesting?
Um, well, a couple of times we went to a relatively well-known water park called Dorney Park, and they had a Battle of the Bands competition, and there were bands from all over the eastern U.S. um,
Wow.
playing and getting judged, and then, of course, changing out of those clothes and into our, water park clothes.
That sounds fun. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, so I love to sing, and this is not Christmas related, but you just had me thinking about. Um, I was in it was called an African American gospel choir when I was in college, and we got to sing in some places around Portugal, and it was just the coolest thing ever. And it just reminded me of your experience with battles of bands and stuff. We didn't battle anybody, but it was just a memorable moment. Not Christmas related, but I don't know. I just felt like going with it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look here. Let's see. I'm looking at my book and seeing if I have any other questions. Oh, what would you like for Christmas?
Hmm.
Okay, sorry for the long pause. I'm just thinking because
That's
I don't
okay.
really do too many like gifts. I'm hard to shop for, honestly. I
Mm,
think an experience like what Jeremy's getting his parents a gift card. I think like kind of something like that, like a gift card, and I go with a friend or a family member and to spend time together. I think that would be a good gift.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I think some, you know, quality time with loved ones, would be, the thing that I'm looking for.
nice. Very good. Very good.
I
Okay.
I agree with her.
Nice, wonderful. I think that covers some of the basic questions. I had some other questions, but you already covered them. I was going to ask, do you believe in Jesus? And you guys started off with that. So I'm like, okay, next, next. Oh, all right. And let me see here. So my other question would be, if you are comfortable sharing, what's Jesus done for you? If you're comfortable. If you're not, that's okay. but I thought you said that you believed in God or Jesus. What's Jesus done for you?
I mean, he sacrificed his life for us. So that's the first answer. But I think also my faith has also opened my life in terms of like people that I've gotten to meet,
Oh.
friendships, community. It's changed my perspective. I feel like I'm a much more friendly, loving, kind of person through my faith to Jesus. So yeah, I think that would kind of cover it.
I can relate to that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'd like to echo that. Yeah, the community and the culture, and also the
Sorry.
you know
Pardon me.
also the the personal character development. As I've grown in my relationship with the Lord. So.
May I ask if you guys were raised in a religious family or religious upbringing, or did you come to Christ as you were, elder or older?
Yeah, sure. Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. Okay, sure. Yeah. So, I grew up in a very religiously observant, evangelical Christian family. And to make a very long story very short, I eventually kind of explored the Catholic denomination and changed my mind on a variety of theological things.
Okay.
And so in 2016 I entered the Catholic Church, and I've been very happy with the choice that I've made with where God's brought
Nice.
me.
Excellent.
Yeah, with
Cool.
where God's brought me. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So for myself, sorta. So part of my family is Christian, and then a part of my family is Muslim. But for my particular like upbringing, religion was more a choice. Like if you wanted to go to church, you could. So I would say that I took my faith more seriously in like during university. Yeah, that's when I started to take it, probably because I was dealing with so much anxiety. Yes, yeah. So that's really my story. Is I took it seriously in university and started to study, find a church. So yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
college was definitely transformational for me in terms of my faith as well. So I can have some commonality there.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. All right. So I'm gonna.
How about you, Mandy?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. I kind of, I think I'm, I would say closer to Zakyia as far as like I had a choice, or I wasn't raised in a religious family. My grandparents were Catholic, but my mother, I only remember going to church on like Christmas or Easter, like special events. It wasn't a regular occurrence. But what had changed is when I was in high school, I started going to some, I think there were like youth groups. Like I had friends in high school that were like, okay, come to this. I kind of explored. I've been to Mormon church and Methodist church and like my grandparents' Catholic church, and even had a Bible study with the Latter-day Saints. I was on this like search for God and trying to figure out who God is and how I can relate to God. And it's kind of a weird story, but okay, this is very, very personal, but so I say that God or Jesus had saved my life because when I was younger, I was an addict. And when there was a time in my life that I had hit rock bottom, and I was in Las Vegas in my little red Honda, and I was crying out. And I got to a point where I was so broken, and only thing I could do was cry and say, help me. And then Jesus came to my life, and he freed me. He freed me. And to the day that I die, I will absolutely say, thank you, Jesus, for helping me. And, you know, I know, I appreciate you asking me that. It's very personal to me, but I have, my life has been completely changed. It really has. So I just, for anybody out there that might be watching this, you know, if you're going through something, please just cry out and tell God to help you, and he will, but you have to say, forgive me, and you have to ask for help. Maybe you guys have a different opinion, but I fully believe that for myself, and that it will help other people if they take the leap, if they try. But
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for sharing.
yeah, it's pretty deep there. I wasn't planning on it going deep, but it went that way.